Previously on Artistic Workout.
I don't know anything about it. Anything. He cannot talk right now because he has a pin in his mouth. First semester? Wow, first semester. I don't know, what is this? Do you put your fingers here
Yes.
to crush it? What is a matrix? I've heard about the movie Matrix. I've seen it, before you were born, actually. Show me the Matrix Neo.
This is to cut your fingers. Basically,
I
yes,
think our
acid.
viewers want to know what acid is because they like acid. This student, he always asks questions. That's why I call him, I have a question.
Yeah, I'm the question guy.
So it's like a potato stem.
Yeah, it's a potato stem, but just a bit more professional.
She's very strong. She's covering it with a carpet.
Only manual labor. That's not perfect.
Okay, so
But it can be worse. It can be worse, okay?
I wish I could like put it on my face or so little answers. My name is Bartosz Milewski. Hello. Welcome to the next episode of Artistic Workout. Friday was busy, as you can see. In the morning, I had to go to the middle of the town, the city, where my student has hundreds of color pencils. That was a private lesson. And then I moved to the Vistula University and its graphic department, or rather part of a larger department, where I met Mr. Marcin Dybowski, who explained a lot about printmaking. But another newfound talent was Olya. Olya is from Ukraine. She's proud of being a Ukrainian. And she helped me a great deal with the interview, thanks to her outgoing personality and intelligence. She's a first-year student. I hope you enjoy. I did enjoy this day a lot. Thank you.
Hello.
Yes, do we have a permission?
So our favorite cameraman is here.
Yes. And our reporter also. So
Hello.
we're here with Mr. Marcin Dybowski, who is an artist. You paint, you do graphics.
Applause, guys.
Thank you.
Okay, and you're
And
also
those are
a teacher.
our best students here.
I don't know if I can film them.
Do you give permission for taking photos and videos? Yeah. They do.
So turn around.
First year students, second semester.
Okay.
And they are learning gravure techniques, etching and aquatint.
Okay, very good. But actually, I wanted to start from a different question. Our viewers would like to know, what did you have for breakfast?
Do you like bananas? Do you like bananas?
Sometimes.
Sometimes it depends on the hour or color.
Depends from the hour.
Okay.
But what did you have for breakfast?
Sandwiches.
Sandwiches, okay. And our viewers would like to know if you are going to post a reel on Instagram about it.
No.
No?
I don't intend to.
Oh, he's secretive. Okay, so that was the most important question. And
Yeah.
for the Instagram viewers. And now we can continue. What is this?
This we are starting an aquatint.
Oh my God, it's warm.
Yeah, it's a stove. Yeah, we're heating up here the pine wood rosin. We are making a background for the aquatint technique.
You can see there.
We are heating it up
The
until it
bottle.
melts.
What's the bottle?
In the
This?
bottle there is powder.
This?
Yeah.
It's resin? Resin?
And right now it is on the piece of.
Okay. I see. And this is a copper plate.
Yeah, that's a copper plate.
Copper plate covered with.
Yeah, students are making small graphic forms here. So this is a small size. 10 by 10 centimeters works.
Black void. This is my greatest work.
So this
So
is
much
what
time
you
into
are
it.
doing on painting
The
and
black
drawing.
void. There's so much sense. I'm gonna do my No, don't mention him.
Is it time to
Okay.
I don't know yet. I
Don't
see
mention
it
Malevich.
because the light here is.
I think it's time.
Yeah, it melted just right now. So
What's going
we are
on?
cooling it down.
We need to cool down the copper plate because the powder was just.
Olga knows everything about it. Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
because I did it this morning. We
Oh,
gotta
okay.
put powder on the copper plates and wait on the stove till it crystals will be like liquid. And then we gotta put it here so it can get cold and then you can work with it. It is for special technique aquatint. For line art, we don't have to do this all.
For
we just
etching.
for
For
etching, yeah. For etching, we just have to put lines and everything, and that's all.
Okay. So could you explain what
I
the?
need to go to the student.
Okay. What?
I think Olga can explain many things.
Okay.
Sometimes.
Sometimes. So
After cooling down-
explain the whole technique.
The whole technique. So basically, etching is just a line art. We put lines, we put paint, then we gently wiped it up, so there will be only lines covered in paint. And then when you go and press and
This
print
is an
it.
author. This is an author.
Yeah.
Of,
By the way, this is an author of this beautiful work. Come here. Come here. Yes. This is the author. Of this. Why such a design? Please tell me.
Just because, you know.
No.
Okay, but still, I don't know anything about printmaking.
What is your favorite part of making such work?
So first you take the copper plate,
Yeah.
then you make the.
Then you
the
cut it
etching.
with this thing because
Yeah,
they
for
usually
cutting-
got
for cutting
like
fingers,
this.
yes.
Two of them is one piece. You got two 10 by 10 squares. Then you present your sketch to the teacher, and he says if whether it's good enough.
very important part, preparation of the project, yeah, and consultations.
Okay.
Yeah, and after consultations, the teacher takes, says if the design is good or not. Then you take a needle and no. You gotta prepare. First of all, you gotta prepare. Sorry, it was a long time ago, so I done it.
Yeah, you have
Then you have
to brush it
prepare.
for
Yeah.
like 20 minutes.
Then you you need to polish it for 20 minutes till it looks like a mirror until teacher sees himself in the copper plate.
Exactly.
Yes.
And what we
Okay.
were doing after, we were
Cover it with some what?
with etching ink.
Etching
With
ink.
special
Yes.
etching ink.
And this, by the
What
way,
does the etching ink look like? Is it?
this is the.
So
Wait.
we have an example here of
Here we
copper
have an
plate
example.
covered, of copper
Yeah,
plate
this
covered
is
with
etching in,
varnish.
and it's covered. The copper plate. This is just covered, and this is already with design that you can just draw on the
yes.
ink. Then such design goes into the acids. We have the
Yes.
yes. Then it goes
Hello?
to the acid.
Hello again. Acid. Yes. Oh,
To
this
the
time you have
acids.
acid.
Yeah.
And what acid is that, by the way?
It's really light. It won't do anything to your skin. It just leaves a color.
Okay.
But to the copper, it makes.
Sulfur acid? or
Yes,
what?
I think
Sulfur?
yes.
Okay. But
And
to
you
the
leave
copper-
it here for 1 hour, so it can make lines outstand when you put the paint on. Then you just wash it with the water,
Okay.
and it's ready to apply paint. If you want to make some lines deeper, you need to draw these lines again on the not to draw again, but draw these lines, and then put it on another 2 hours in the acid, and so it will create lines that will be more deeper. First, you gotta draw lines that will be more deeper, and then just light lines on the surface.
Okay, and this technique is called
Etching.
etching.
Yeah, we need to make good four prints for etching of every copper plate. It means 8 good prints for copper plates.
Okay.
For
so
etching, yeah.
so
After
from
that,
etching, you can go to aquatint. Or
yeah,
something?
from etching we go to aquatint. Aquatint is like etching, but we can create different colors, which is white, black, and gray.
Oh,
Yeah, and it is basically also we make an aquatint from the plates we have already etching on. So yes, we just continue to work with them. For example, I don't know, this one girl is covering right now her work with powder, which was already on the stove, which we saw, and it's after it cools down.
what is the powder made of?
I don't know, teacher. What is the powder? What is the powder?
It's pine wood from pine wood tree, the pine wood rosin.
Pine. It's made from pine wood tree.
Pine wood tree.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. So and after it's covered,
Sorry.
you can heat it up on the stove. Then you cool it down, and then you put ink on the parts you want to be white on your print, because then this.
So it's the opposite.
Yeah,
like
yeah,
reversed.
yeah. Because then you gotta put this drawing or just your metal cup again for
in the
6
acid.
minutes. Yes, in the acid.
Okay.
And in such way, it will create layers like on the copper plate, different layers, and there will be like darkest white. And when you will apply paint, you will like gently rub it away. And when you do that, it will leave like white because it has more layers, then gray, and then black.
So how many times do you go back? Do you go back to the acid? Just
You
once,
just
or-
make white, like the girl is first layer, and then you make a gray layer again. Black doesn't need anything because it's already gonna be done.
Okay. So do we have? What does the final work look like?
I think we just can watch the
Yes.
process. You make an aquatint, yes? Okay. They're making
Okay.
aquatint, and you can see how there is white layers, black layers, and gray layers in this exactly.
And we need to
But white layers are created by absolutely wiping the paint off the what's it called?
Copper.
Copper from the
Copper plate.
piece of copper. Gray is by gently removing paint, and black is just paint itself. Yeah, we use also special printing papers. It has to be in the water for like 10 minutes, so it will
so
be
it's wet.
absolutely wet. Yeah, so it will be absolutely wet. And right now we
that's
have
the aqua.
Yeah.
The water. Aqua.
Yeah.
I see.
Do you need wooden? Okay, you have. Okay.
And what?
Sorry.
What can go wrong here? Is it
Practically everything.
so? It's not
Yeah.
easy.
Too much water, not enough water, wrong press, or not even paper. Sometimes if you don't put the even paper there, it can get crumbled and everything, and you'll have some weird wrinkles there. Also, the handle of this is always in paint, so make sure to grab a piece of paper so your hands isn't dirty.
Your hands are always already dirty. And you see also this can be slippery and it will ruin the painting. So you also gotta hold it a little bit until it's.
Oh, I see. Okay.
This is my friend. She helps me with yes. Cheers. So we see the process of actually students have to
Yes.
do it themselves. This is a great workout plan, but yeah.
How
so
old is this machine? Yeah.
I think it's older than all of us.
Even than me?
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah?
Yes. Yes.
It's older than- I thought I was the oldest thing. in
No.
the universe.
Unfortunately.
The moment of truth.
Yeah, you can see how it
okay.
came out.
Like I said, it
Microphone,
depends
please.
It depends on the material that you use, because
You said there are mistakes.
Yeah, like you see here, it got into the lines. So we use paper, we use cotton sticks, and just the pieces of cotton. But the thing
But
is,
I don't see any mistakes. Could you show us?
it's like look at the plate. I'll show you.
Okay.
We have the plate, we have the lines here,
Yes.
and then we have here. They're washed
Lines
out.
are not strict and a little bit dirty,
Yeah,
unlike the copper plate, where you can see they're just
because
straight lines.
yeah, they're washed out because cotton gets into the lines. So sometimes it's better. It's
too
better.
much cleaning. Too much
Yeah,
cleaning.
it's
was
better
done.
to use paper sometimes to wipe
But
out.
paper also scratches the copper plate, and you then will have like you see this strays.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm not really bothered about the parts, but it's always the part that's.
We can show it
goes
to the
wrong.
teacher and see how he
Yeah, let's go and show to the teacher.
You can show it to the teacher.
and see.
Fortunately for emergencies,
Yeah,
we
yeah,
have this here. So better sit down.
So I was showing what was going wrong with the paper, and as you can see, it's the same problem with the calendar again here.
Yeah.
So
Still. However, you are getting to it slowly.
yeah.
You've done many prints already, and you know what to search here. You see those lines, you got better now. Although it's not a bad print.
It
not
was a last piece of my paper though for today.
Okay.
if you want. I can give you squares.
How much for the piece?
No, it's free. Just for you to try. Because I think it takes too much time. Unlike any other technique, aquatint is one of the most time-consuming technique. So when we were doing like lino cut, we could make like 15 prints on the lesson. With aquatint, we can make only 2, maybe 3, maybe 5, not more.
Okay.
It depends also on your design.
So here is like it has some straight lines and everything. I also have another design
Yeah.
with
Yes, good students. Yes.
with the face and everything like an
Both.
abstract one, and it has more curved lines. But here it's like straight, so it's easier for me to wipe this out.
And also, when you make it in aquatint, it's really important to wipe the edges.
Yeah,
In
but
any
it's
graphic technique.
In any graphic.
Okay.
While working with the copper plates.
yeah, the thing is, it's the acid. So like the acid is got these lines too deep, so they're like engraved in this, and it's hard to wipe them off and everything. So
So you need to cover the edges also, maybe.
yeah.
Okay.
You didn't tell us about it.
But this edge is also dirty.
And we also have a fan here.
That's your print,
Oh,
yes.
I did it after I printed it, so it's okay.
And we also can clean a paper if we have such things in the water. Yes, the teacher told us that if you got paint anywhere but the printing
image,
itself,
yeah.
the image, we can gently clean it with the water since it's a special paper for aquatint. No, not aquatint, for print. Yeah, by the way, the paper costs 22 zlotych for a piece.
22? I bought it for 20.
Which is how many dollars, for example, or euros?
And I don't know how many dollars, but I know in hryvnias it's 2020.
Okay.
Oh,
So
220, sorry.
for euro, dollar, roughly divided by 4,
Yeah,
roughly.
but we are not a dollar country, so it's sad.
Yeah, so euro.
5 something.
And we need to have, like, for example, one technique about, I think, 5 pieces of 4, 5. Well, it depends on how good you are at technique, but sometimes it can be up to 5 pieces of paper.
Okay, wow.
Yeah, I had many unsuccessful pieces, so this one is
then
one of many unsuccessful.
We put our drawings too.
Yeah, we put our drawings.
To a dryer, basically, yes. This you can
Yes.
see there is.
Successful drawings.
Yes.
It's devastating.
Yeah.
So we've seen this in
You
the
can just
previous
snoop
episode.
it out any way you want. I guess.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you see there's one of my friends. Maybe I can try and grab that.
Yes, do they differ from print to print, or are they exactly the same?
Not really, it depends. Like you can see if we just compare them. Here the parts are darker, I erased them less. And the calendar, it still suffers from the same thing. The edges, like I said, it's from the acid in my case, so.
There's no way of cleaning the edges because it's just something that acid already done. So we cannot. We just have to maybe work with the copper itself, but it's no use in cleaning.
So perhaps
This is, by the way, the aquatint of my friend Alisa. I was just showing you. Oh my God! We had this lesson in the morning, and this is her work basically.
oh wow,
Yeah.
that's scary.
Yeah.
Okay. I wonder if anybody can tell me about other techniques.
Yeah,
than
we
aqua?
have one student that has a I don't know how it's really called. Do you know the third technique? On the plastic, with the plexiglass.
Dry point.
Dry
Dry
point.
point.
Yes.
Oh, dry
we have-
point is
Already doing
Yeah.
dry point.
Yes. For this you need to, it's
So
easier as an
that is
aquatint.
complicated, right? Because you just
The most
have
complicated, I would say, is the really aquatint because you need to work on 3 layers at the same time. When in etching and dry point, you have just lines basically.
Okay, so who invented aquatint?
Teacher. All we know is teacher.
No, we don't care. It makes us suffer. It makes our hands dirty. And
Oh, you better care because you will.
oh yeah, my hands.
We
You might
care
be
for it.
asked
It
here.
doesn't care about us.
Okay,
That is the real
no,
problem.
your-
Yeah.
Yeah,
your
you can
thesis.
see that the dry point, it's actually a piece of plexiglass. Also uses the same method. Yeah, you can continue to work. Also use the same method as the etching, but we only work with plexiglass, as I said, yes. So you
Oh,
also
I
get
wonder
your
if she
design.
called the ear doctor.
Huh? Never mind that.
Never mind.
That was a bad joke. Yeah. So we gotta work with when making sketches on the paper. First of all, you gotta. Teacher will say that you gotta work with the whole like surface, so you can just put it in center. That's why student. What's her name, by the way? Milenia, yes. She's one of the first who started this technique. And we can also see that at her etching, the corners also working because it's not only in the middle. So the whole composition, it's used for the whole piece of plexiglass.
And in this technique, you use plexiglass, or can you also use copper plate?
No, I think it is false only.
It was used in dry point technique. There was always copper. That was a copper plate. Yeah, but now we are using plexiglass for the students because it's cheaper, and as well it's a little bit easier to work with the needle, with a special tool that you are making your engravings.
So could you tell us what other techniques you use here? In other
For
classes?
the next semester, you'll be learning Mokulito technique. It's a flat
so
printing
yes.
technique. Yeah.
So these, and we discussed them in our last.
Yeah.
Maybe we should go to examples and see which technique.
On the wall, we have examples, quite fine projects of our previous students from previous years. On the right side. On the right side, there are Mokulito prints. And those are quite fine projects and well done, technically well done prints with this technique.
Yes, and there's also a show downstairs.
Yeah, an exhibition that we're gonna be opening soon.
I think I filmed all of it or most of it downstairs.
So this is what you're going to be learning almost, right?
Oh no. Oh no. Oh no.
So what are all the techniques used
Here
in
is
graphics?
examples of
Just-
lino cuts.
Uh-huh.
Lino cuts. Mostly lino cuts.
Do we have an example of the plate of the lino cut?
The etching or the aquatint.
No, the lino cut. Yeah, because but I know it's etched on a piece of lino. Yeah, something like we have on the floor actually. Yes.
Here some leftovers, so this is
It is
example of linoleum.
Yeah. So
and it is a point.
yeah, in the States actually we had white, thicker plates for that. Remember?
Also, this is a good example of a lino cut play.
And
matrix.
Yeah, and I know from one of the theses of students that it was invented in Germany, I think.
Yeah, in the early 20th century. So it's it's the very young technique.
Yeah. So first it was, I think, used for industrial things like wallpaper, perhaps. Is that right, or am I wrong? Yeah. And then artists from maybe German expressionists took it or something like that.
Yeah, there was a group, the Brick, and they're very popular in Germany, and students supposed to know about
Die Brücke.
this group of lino cutting artists. Yeah.
Yes.
We do know.
Yes, I like German expressionism a lot, and sometimes overlooked a little bit. Yes.
You can see here an example of this project, an Ex Libris, that students are learning how to change their ways of cutting. Yeah, they are trying to use many directions in the project. They're trying to show the best they can in those projects.
Could you show us the needles or whatever it is called to use
Table.
on the table?
On the table.
The
that's
tools for
special.
carving.
Wait, sorry.
I
It's not
think
for
I did
carving,
one.
but it's more used for aquatint and etching. So we work with
Okay.
plates, and it's also used
So-
for points.
Here we have a dry point,
Uh-huh.
needle. Yeah, that is used for a dry point, but also you were using it, Olga. You were using.
We
it
were
for-
using it for lino cut in the dots technique, which we saw when we were picking up the first.
Not really that one. You were using a bit different one.
But-
That one you were using for etching.
Etching and aquatint.
Okay. But it doesn't work for lino cut.
Yes,
It doesn't.
we were given because there was a lot of
oh, it
students.
does. Okay,
Yeah,
okay,
yeah.
okay.
Basically, what you need to do is like poke the lino cut
So I
with
know
a sharp
there is dry point, aquatint,
etching.
aqua etching, aquaforta. There's something like that. I don't know if you've heard about
It's
that.
in Polish.
What is it
It's in
in
English.
Okay.
Aquaforta is in Polish.
in Polish?
And those are
From Italian, basically. Yeah.
And those are the tools for lino cut technique, the professional ones.
We didn't.
Okay, so it's rounded. I see. Yes. I think-
V-shaped, U-shaped,
Yeah,
with
yeah.
different sizing, so you can express many different linings, and even you can work with some of them for dot lino cuts, just using just an edge of it. Yeah, so if you have a
Okay,
very good
so-
professional tools, you can also make
Yeah.
very good, very interesting movements.
I think I did one lino cut in my whole life.
Was it good?
The linoleum was thicker, like white, thick block in the States. And yes, what is fascinating or challenging in these graphic techniques is how to make soft things with these hard tools, you know, like how to do plants, for example, or skin, faces, portraits. You know, I just know the theory, and I remember how we were shown Albrecht Dürer's work.
You can show a dry point.
Dry
Yeah,
point.
this is the dry point, one of the best sketches I've seen so far.
Who's using the dry point? Who's
This
the
is,
author?
I think you are the author, right? Yeah. It's your work.
You're the author? Okay. Wow. That's very elaborate. This is just dry point?
I don't know, something.
Is it yours?
Yeah.
How long does it take to make such a piece?
2 hours continuous without stopping.
Just 2 hours?
Without stopping.
Looks like
Doing nothing else.
16 hours.
He's a
Okay.
pro editor already.
Yeah, I noticed how when he draws, he's very much into detail. Yeah, in the drawing class. Okay, that's, you know, the beauty. And that's what I'm saying, you know, this is the, look at the face, right?
No, I was drawing and I ruined the eyes, so I had to make it black. Because I was drawing and it went wrong. So
Yeah.
I had to change it.
But I was talking about the challenges of making soft things like skin, for example.
Like
With
all the
hard-
things
with
were
hard
easy.
lines.
All the things
Uh-huh.
were easy. Only the snakes were. It take like an hour, I guess.
This was difficult?
Yeah.
The snakes?
All the lines are just lines. These
Yeah.
took time. These times.
So these lines actually follow the form, something that
Yeah.
was also discussing and making the students of fourth semester draw. Yeah. Okay.
Okay, sorry.
Okay, so I don't know if Do you have anything else to show, or that was it? Huh?
Just people walking.
Just people.
You can
working.
take a video without sound and then overlay it.
Yeah.
And this is a start, for example. This is already like seeing the layers.
Yeah.
We can, by the way,
also-
ask our group. It was in the morning. This is our group, and
Yes.
this morning we had the same, basically the same techniques.
And he's here, not in our drawing class.
I already finished.
You finished?
Yeah.
Drawing and painting.
Yeah, so he can also tell something about.
Yeah, he was in the previous episode.
Yeah, I was, and I'm not sure what she didn't tell you yet. Because what can I tell about gravure? Is it very hard? Yes. And
You can show us maybe what you did.
I can
this
show
morning.
you my print.
So any developments from last episode in your experience, for example? Did you learn something new?
I started doing new prints. It's supposed to
wow.
be God.
The detail.
Yeah, some details there. No, I didn't learn anything new. It's all the same. Aquatint. Very hard technique. Very hard to get the details with air sticks. But there are lots of nice works. Mine is not that nice. And yeah, that's all I can tell.
Okay. Here, actually, I hope I can
Any
film it.
stupid questions?
These are in Polish or English. Polish and English. So if anybody wants to learn Polish, okay. So what are the codes for? Is there international codes or just
I don't know.
okay?
They didn't tell us anything about that. Maybe yet.
Mezzotint.
Maybe yet.
What is Mezzotint?
We don't have it yet. It's probably
Okay.
third year or second year.
Lithography and Mezzotint. Let's ask the teacher, perhaps. This way.
Na prощание.
Okay.
Оля, учить тебе треба.
Okay, we need a teacher.
What is Mezzotint and lithography? Because we found the description on the wall.
The Mezzotint, we ended Mezzotint last year, so we are not learning students here in the department anymore of Mezzotint techniques.
Okay. But just a few words, perhaps. What is it? Is it also copper plate?
It's also a copper plate engraving. It's done by special tool. First, it's a preparation. It's very a long preparation of the background on the copper plate. We were doing also small graphic forms in this technique. Students were preparing copper plates with the rocker. Special tool is called a rocker. The purpose of this tool is making plenty of dots, small dots in the old background of the copper, and after the main drawing is done with the special tool as well as spoon. This is not exactly because this needle is ended both sides the same, but the tool for Mezzotint has a spoon on one side, and our drawing, our project is done by pressing down all these dots background. So this is Mezzotint is called a black art in the graphics world, because all the background here from these dots is going to catch the paint, the graphic paint, and our main drawing is done by the spoon. So it's in white and gray tones on this project.
Okay.
So this is a Mezzotint technique.
Okay, wonderful. And the last thing that I saw written there is lithography.
Yeah, lithography, it's all flat printing. However, we are teaching only mokulito, not real lithography, like I call it a real lithography, the stone lithography.
Stone. What kind of stone is that?
This is a very, very thick, heavy stone matrixes using. That are used for lithography. However, here, because we don't have here the lithography press, only normal etching press, so the motoculito technique is easier to work with. The matrices, the wooden plates are lighter, and it can be easily done on etching press.
I see.
And we also have wooden. It is the one you were talking about.
Okay.
Those are wooden plates from mokulito technique from previous year from the students.
Okay. At the end, I would like to ask some grand question, like what's the future of graphic arts, the traditional graphic arts? What do you think? What's new and what?
For me, graphic arts is equal to painting, because in our times, those are both ancient techniques. But we have still all over the world many international contests. Many well-known artists.
Yes.
So all the time we are searching new talents, and by learning new generations, showing them those techniques, I think we can open some new talents in the world.
Okay. And is there anything changing in these old techniques? Any developments, any styles that are, or is it just like only tradition?
Tradition is very important, and I really like the works in traditional style. However, we can also work with those techniques, mix them with computer projects.
Oh, so that's something that's going on, that's new, I think.
Yeah, and we can mix them in many visual techniques as well. So those traditional techniques supposed to open minds for other projects as well.
I see, and I think you have to be very careful here. That's what you learn, and it's different from just, push undo button on a computer, right?
Yeah, it's for me it's much different. Because it's a real feeling with your own hand, with your your heart.
So I would say computers are a wonderful tool, but I also noticed that.
Maybe I hold it up.
I also noticed that. For now, at least, the traditional tools teach one a lot in terms of technique.
Yeah, and if you can just show now the studio and the press, how the students are working, I think this is a very, very beautiful view. Yeah, that the young people still want to learn, and they are happy with it.
Yes, I see some people who come here very often, even to other classes, and so that is also very good. How many hours of these classes do they have? The printmaking per week, for example?
I can be mistaken right now, but about 45 hours
per semester.
Per semester for this technique.
For just this technique?
Yeah.
For each technique?
Yeah, for each technique.
Okay, so I think this was I learned a lot. I saw how it's both difficult, challenging, but also rewarding. And I can see some focus on the work. They are really enjoying this difficult technique. Okay. So, thanks a lot. Huh? Something there? Okay. Gloves, probably. Okay, so thanks a lot.
Okay, thanks Bartosz for visiting us.
And I will put it on the internet next week, I hope. Thanks. Once again. Okay. Aha! Okay, rainy season. Let's have some discipline and check attendance. Okay. Back to.
Make sketches on B1?
Yes, I said after 10 minutes, just do. Thank you.
I made a small sketch what happened in the film.
Hey, this guy is me. I think, although he's more handsome. Who's that?
That's the girl that was doing their gravure.
Uh-huh.
And that's Olha holding the microphone.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, since just in case. Thanks for watching. Leave a comment. Did you like this episode? What would you like to see later on? Subscribe, leave a comment, like, and so on. Bye bye. At last but not least, here's some footage of the student show that is taking place at the University of Vistula in Warsaw, Poland. May I remind you? And as I said, I learned a lot on this day. And I always had a great respect for printmaking. And although I haven't done anything in printmaking, perhaps except one thing, Lino cut, but I never actually used a press. The graphic sensibility is not alien to me, and I incorporated in my ink drawings comic strips, illustrations, which is also something that I admire in others. I incorporated in paintings also, as did other painters. So let's just take a moment and enjoy, as it seems like a lot of effort was put into these works. And I think in the next episode of Artistic Workout, I will discuss the basics of drawing. Not only Friday was busy for me, but also Thursday, and I actually shot the remainder of the footage that I need for putting out another episode of Artistic Workout. And as always, I'm open to your suggestions, so once again, comments are helpful. I hope you enjoy it. And goodbye.